everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. So today I thought we'd take a look back at this last year, go through some of the flowers and shrubs that I planted and think about what worked well for me. I thought today we'd focus specifically on shrubs because when it comes to shrubs, I really tried to up my game this last year. I've taken a lot of time to look at the pictures and read all about the way that Brandywine Cottage has developed a layered look, and I really like that look within the garden. And so I'm trying to bring a little bit more of those type of layers and colors into my garden by bringing the height up. I have a lot of perennials that are herbaceous in my borders, and I think by having the layered look of shrubs, that's really going to bring about a change of a look. Especially because I have a deck in my backyard that's up a level from the rest of my yard. And so I think it will help to bring the garden space and make it feel more like you're in the garden when you're on the deck. So let's take a look at some of the ones that I really enjoyed after planting them. And I planted a lot, so we'll try to cover these very briefly. I do garden in a zone 5B in Michigan, and that means that we have very cold winters. It gets down to like -20. I have heavy clay soil. Some parts are a little bit better than others. I do try to amend it, but it is also very warm and humid during the summer months. So if that gives you a little bit of context for some of the planting conditions that I work within as I talk about what works well for me and what I really enjoyed. So let's start out by one that was a real good surprise for me. I bought this. It's called the Grow Low Fragrant Sumac. And the Grow Low Fragrant Sumac, when I bought it, didn't look like much, but I was so thrilled by the colors that it changed in the fall and the growth habit being low that it really was a good surprise to me. I didn't think that I was going to like it as much as I did, but it certainly was a performer. The fall color was nice. Another one that I really am enjoying is the Standing Ovation Serviceberry. I didn't get to see this bloom this year. This one actually grows quite narrow and tall. It grows up to about 15 feet tall. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it grow this summer and seeing the blooms on it. I'd been looking for a serviceberry for a really long time. This one is by First Editions, and it's the Standing Ovation. So I think that one's going to do really well where it's planted. Another new one for me this year that was a shrub I decided to go with is called the Seven Sunflower tianshan. And this one is one that I planted in several different places. The first place I planted it, after I planted it, I realized the deer really liked it. So then I decided to plant some of it up closer to the house where they don't come as much. So it's a very beautiful flower. It's very fragrant, and I'm looking forward to having that around the place where I sit by the pool to smell during the summer. Okay, another great surprise to me is a very small flowering shrub that I actually hadn't heard of until this year. So it's called the Yuki Cherry Blossom Deutzia. And it's by Proven Winners. You can get it from others as well. They sell it and consider it a ground cover. But this is gorgeous. I mean, it has multi-season interest. I would definitely say 3-season. So in the spring, it has some little colored tips on the leaves, and then it has these beautiful blooms. And then in the fall, it has gorgeous color on it as well. It turns kind of a purple maroon with bluish color. It's almost indescribable, so I highly recommend that one. And after I got the first two, I actually picked up, I think, 3 more. It fits in just about any spot that you want to put it in your yard, and the growth habit on it is really pretty as well. It just kind of reminds me almost of the way that a chrysanthemum looks, but as a very small bush, if that makes any sense. And then one of my favorite shrubs that I planted this year, and I ended up getting multiple varieties of it, are the Ninebark. So I got the Little Devil Ninebark, And I got a tiny wine Ninebark. And I got a summer wine Ninebark. And I got Amber Jubilee Ninebark. Can you see this theme and how much I like it? And then Fireside Ninebark. So I had no idea how much I was going to like the Ninebark, but I think that it's a native plant, which makes me happy. The foliage comes in all sorts of different colors, any range from green to bronze to more of a burgundy to more of a purple, and then it has these beautiful tiny flowers, which then turn into berries. And the fall color is also incredible, and the bushes do hold on to the leaves a little bit longer than some of the other bushes that are deciduous. So love that. That was a great find. And I'm certainly looking to see them perform again this year. Another type of bush that I invested heavily in this year is Barberry. I got so many different kinds of that. I got, and I think my favorite one, oh, it's hard to pick actually. So I got a Concord Barberry. I got a Crimson Pygmy Barberry. I got Lava Nugget Barberry. Oh, and this one's really unique, the Orange Rocket Barberry, because it grows with a much more upright habit. And as a result of that, the bright color and the upright habit is really eye-catching. It's quite stunning. This is another picture of it from a different brand, Orange Rocket Barberry. And then finally, Limoncello Barberry. This one's really unique because it is a very limey yellow color or green, and it's sort of chartreuse. And then on the tips, it's got like a very fine line of sort of a deeper red around the outside, and it's got a great fall color as well. And so the barberries also produce berries, which are edible. I haven't tried them. I hear they don't taste that great, but I'm looking forward to seeing those, more of those this year as the barberries settle into their new homes. I did get a lot of hydrangeas as well this year. So I'm super excited to see those bloom. Probably one of the other shrubs that I got the most of is hydrangea. I love the paniculata ones, but I did also get some of the arborescens ones. The ones that don't do as well in my area are the macrophylla version. They just don't tend to do well blooming on old wood because our winters are so cold here. They do oftentimes say that they're hardy down to zone 5, but being in zone 5B, I really don't buy that. I think you actually have to put some type of winter protection over them to help them through the winter in order to maintain those buds and stay alive. So one of the arborescens versions that I got was the Seaside Serenade Bar Harbor Hydrangea. And I got a couple of those, and I really enjoy this one. It's a lower growing one. It's got kind of a bluish sheen to the foliage, and then the flower heads come out this lime green, and then eventually turn the creamy white. It's just a very classic look. And then I got a PG hydrangea tree. So this was a standard, and I was very excited to get that on clearance. I did also get a quick fire panicle hydrangea. This one, actually, I take that back. I didn't get that this year. I got it a year before this one. So this one has had a couple years in my garden, and I really do enjoy it. It's also very different from some of the other panicles, which have much thicker blooms, because it's more of It almost lends itself to a lace cap type look, but it has a deeper burgundy pink, and many of the other hydrangeas that I grow are much more pink. Speaking of which, strawberry sundae, I planted a whole bunch of these. Those are going to get very large. I also planted berry white hydrangea, which is fairly similar to the strawberry sundae. They really are just different sizes, and the leaves are slightly different. But they both get quite large and do very well in my area. One of the hydrangeas that I just adore is this Jetstream hydrangea. It's an oak leaf hydrangea. And this one definitely has a lot of interest in the fall. The color of the leaves are gorgeous. I mean, the hydrangea flowers and the panicles on them are gorgeous as well, but the fall brilliance of the leaves is almost just as stunning. Okay, then the other bush that I got this year that I really like, they're fairly small. But they're called coral berries. They're called candy coral berries. And they have these light pink little berries. And they're just so pretty. I mean, it's an unexpected color to see in your garden in a berry. I almost didn't think they were real when I saw them at first because it's almost like a bubblegum pink. And they stay fairly small. So these are things that, you know, like the deutzia that I talked about earlier, these are ones that you could tuck into your garden someplace and find a nice space for. And then I also planted a mock orange. So I've got the Snow White mock orange, which I'm excited to smell in the spring. It actually bloomed even though I planted it during the summer. It bloomed towards the fall because it put on so much new growth when I planted it. So I think it just really likes the spot that I put it in, which is always a good sign. And then I'm really hoping to attract some more butterflies to my yard. I love wildlife, as you know, and so one of the ways I'm doing that is through trying some butterfly bushes. In the past, I've tried them and they have not done well in my yard. And I think it's because it is heavier soil and stays cold quite long. But I'm going to give these a try. These are the Pugster Pink, and so they're much smaller than the other butterfly bushes that I've tried in the past. So I'm very hopeful that these will grow well. They seemed quite happy after I planted them, but after a long winter, just who knows. Hopefully I'll be able to share a positive update about those as well. I think that's all that I'm going to share with you today because I have so many that I planted this year. I just wanted to touch on some of the ones that I really enjoyed and felt like if I pass the word on to you that you could also benefit from the loveliness of these shrubs. Again, it's just a nice other layer to have in your garden. And they really require little to no care after you plant them. Herbaceous perennials, you know, they require deadheading and just a little bit of upkeep over time. Sometimes you have to water them when it gets dry out. But these shrubs really take care of themselves. And every couple of years you might have to do some pruning. But that just helps provide some stakes for other plants in the yard when you use the sticks that you prune off or kindling for your firewood outside. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below a little bit about what worked for you. What shrubs have you tried? Big, little, small, teeny. I certainly enjoy some of the ones that are smaller because you can just tuck them into little places in the yard that you normally use regular perennials. Well, thanks again for joining me today. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, click that like button, hit subscribe to join my channel, and if you want to get notified of my videos when they come out, just click that notification bell. Thanks again for joining me. Bye!